rocking the purple Rockies. That's what's up.
Yeah, man. Come on, man. Born and
Oh
raised
yeah,
in
Denver, huh?
Memphis. Yeah,
Yes, sir. I used
always.
to love
Even
the Rockies back in the day when yeah, those are the first games I used to went to. The little freaking Rockies games.
for real, I've only been to a couple of baseball games. I say it all the time. Baseball, I can't get with. I just can't. But I
Hmm.
just, I rock the hats, and purple's my favorite color. So, I got a bunch of Colorado Rockies hats. But I don't know, man. And it sucks too, because when you like wear a hat and they go, when people walk by, oh, you Rockies fan or Yankees fan? It's like, no, I just like the
I
hat.
just like that.
And then you tell them like I think baseball is boring. They you watch them like just feel so defeated, and they like
Yeah,
I feel you. I'm not a big fan. I've been to a few games, like I said, Rockies back in the day, and I took my son to a couple Mariners games just to get him that experience. Just to like,
yeah.
hey, we went to basketball games, we went to football games, we went to baseball games, and we'll hit up a soccer game hopefully this year. So I just want him to experience everything compared to only basketball or only
Yeah.
football. Don't want that black kid that only like, oh, only football or only black ball or basketball, black ball. But
You got
yeah,
to
just
make
want
sure to
to.
take them other things too, like even as boring as it might be, definitely take them to like obviously the educational like museums and stuff like that. But you know, my
Yeah, we
kid
gonna
like
put him
he's
in
into cars
science
and
and things
stuff
like
like
that.
that, so I might end up going to like a NASCAR thing one day.
Yeah,
Ideally, I'd rather do like Formula One or whatever, but like anything in cars, we're probably gonna go to like the monster truck rally things and stuff like that.
exactly.
Like
Yeah, I
just
almost
things
bought tickets
outside
last
of
year for
sports
that.
alone as well, maybe
Yeah,
some technology thing or something like computers or whatever as
absolutely.
well.
For sure. Yeah, we almost went to a little monster truck thing last year, but tickets sold out before I knew it about it. And of course, I told you I took him to the WWE and stuff. He's been
Yep,
hella
yep.
into that lately. Shoot, we were watching a little SummerSlam last weekend or whatever it was. So yeah, he's been into that like crazy. It's crazy. I was super into that when I was his age, and I haven't watched it in years since he
It's
started
coming back
watching it.
around, I
So
guess. It's
watching it a
coming
little
back
bit.
around.
I tried giving it because
Never got away.
it's back on Netflix. So I tried to watch it because I'm like, we all grew up watching WWF. I know it's E now, but we
Mhm.
watched it growing up. So I'm like, let me go ahead and see what's up with it now, fam. I cut that off in 10 minutes. Okay, I don't know. I maybe because we always knew it was scripted. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like the
Yeah,
storylines are kind of outlandish now, and I don't know. It just
Yeah,
ain't
yeah.
for
I
me no
feel
more.
you.
I feel like they don't
I'm the
have
same.
like the swag that they used to. Everyone's all juiced and crazy. It's like
Yeah,
it
it's not the
wasn't
same
about like
for
who was the
sure.
biggest pause when we were younger. It was about like personality. You know what I'm saying? Like Shawn
Yeah,
Michaels
Yeah,
wasn't
yeah.
all crazy rocked, or Bret the Hitman Hart wasn't all crazy out, or Ted DiBiase, or I mean, there was fat dudes. Yokozuna
EX.
was fat. Big Boss Man was fat. You know what I'm saying? Like he was fat, but
Mankind.
they had personality.
giant. Yeah,
Yeah, like Undertaker before he turned into like the Rocker Undertaker. Like
Now, I
they
will say, I only watched WWF. I did not watch WCW, but I thought that was corny at the time. And that was where a lot of like, they had almost like the Lucha Libre style, like,
yeah.
where they be jumping around off of turnbuckles and doing all sorts.
WCW was cool when
The
Sting
Rey
was
Mysterio
around.
dude or whatever, right?
those
Yeah.
types. Yeah,
When
Okay,
when
yeah,
when
yeah,
yeah.
Sting was popping on WCW, I watched it a little bit then. I stopped
yeah.
watching
And
when
Goldberg.
yeah, but when Hollywood Hogan went over and he had like a black beard all of a sudden, that's when I'm like, okay, you're wilding, bro. Get out of here.
Yeah,
Um,
with the blonde in the middle right there, black with a blonde in
yeah,
the middle.
dog.
So,
That was kind
yeah,
of wild, but no, WWF used to be balling. But I tried
yeah.
I think it was Monday Night Raw, so I tried it. I'm good, man.
I will
I feel
say,
you. I
going
felt the
back
same,
to
but yeah,
with what you were talking about with baseball, real quick, I will say the thing I do like about it, and this is also the problem with being a big fan of it, is baseball still has 180 plus games, right? And so because of that, that also means tickets are like pretty cheap in Yeah, general, yeah, where you can get tickets for $20, $30. And so it's a low cost of entry if like you take kids and it's like even if they're not having a good time or even if you have to leave by the seventh inning stretch, it's not like you feel like, dang, we wasted all that money and we didn't even get to enjoy it. It's kind of just something that's on. You don't have to be paying attention to every single pitch, every single swing, every single whatever. It's just a more casual watch. So
yeah.
I think
Mhm.
contrarily to that though, like I'd even be like, all right, well, you want to try out baseball, spring training isn't bad whatsoever, and with respect to like the cost and whatnot. I mean, it is.
yeah, you're not getting the superstar baseball players or stuff
Yeah.
like that, or like, games that are worth something per se. But, from my experiences, those are the opportunities where you do have possible chances to get like autographs or whatever. And, you're not spending a whole lot of money or whatever. And it's just a different atmosphere. I look at baseball or actually attending baseball games as an opportunity to people watch. That's probably the main thing I'm going for. But yeah, if I actually had an interest in baseball too, that definitely would be worthwhile as opposed to me like going to
Icing
maybe
on the
two or
cake.
three baseball games as opposed to like saving up money just to go to one lone basketball game and seeing like the nosebleeds or whatever, you know what I mean? So
What
it's
I
good.
will say probably is a good thing about baseball is if you want to get away from your significant other, you could be like, "Hey, I'm gonna go to the baseball game because she ain't going. It's 9 hours, fam. So you get to be by yourself for 9 whole hours. All right, so
That's funny.
that's a
That's
nice
funny.
little excuse. Like, hey, you want to go with me to the Diamondbacks game? You know she don't want to go, so you can sit there, get you a ticket, and go get a couple of glizzies. You know what I'm saying? You big chilling for a few hours. So I'll take that,
I mean,
but
unless your woman is the type that like wants to be up under you wherever.
she ain't going to no baseball game.
If it's
Like,
early
I just
on in
want
the
to be with you,
relationship,
whatever it is.
probably, but
Quality
yeah, like
time.
after a while, it's like, yeah, no, I ain't trying to do that.
And you know what? Cool, take her. Watch. Within 1 hour. Is it almost done yet? I'm like, fam, we are in inning 1.5. You still got 8 more to go. Sit back and relax. Go get another glizzy. We
There's
give you
no
another
clock.
3 hours. Yeah.
Right.
So
That's the only thing that's crazy. Yeah, the games do last a minute, but the freaking hot dogs cost a. That's probably why everything costs so dang much because the tickets are nothing. Like I was like $10, $15 for a hot dog. It was like $30 for a slice of pizza or whatever. I was like, dude, y'all doing way too dang much. But
It is
it's
kind of cool
cool.
though, because it's not just your basic hot dog. They have like in Arizona,
Nah,
they
it
got
was
like the diamond
a
dog,
garbage
which is
dog.
like
yeah.
the big ass that's like foot long or 2 foot long hot dog and all these ridiculous stupid toppings on, like again, it's been a minute since I gone to a game, but if I did go, that'd probably be another one outside of people watching. That'd be a reason to go. I'd
Oh,
go
for
with the
sure.
intent, like, hey, I'm gonna spend a shitload of money. I'm gonna get like a big ass beer that cost me $20. It would cost me $6 or $8 at the bar, but I'm gonna
Right.
hit that just so I got a buzz going on as I'm watching these people, looking to see who's being stupid or who's whatever.
Mhm.
It just so yeah. But the food,
Yeah,
I
it's a
was
part
like
of it.
at the
It's a
start of
part of it.
every
Yeah.
season, they always like have on the news. They talk about like, oh hey, here's the new food they're gonna have at the blah blah arena, right? So I mean, like, it's just like state fair food, kind of like the same thing where there's something unique about it that you want to try
Yeah.
out.
Facts.
I feel you. Hey, that's funny.
So you
See,
want to jump into what's the music game in the last month and a half?
I was just about to say that. I was just about to say that. Yeah. So
Because I
I'll
think
I'll,
there's
I'll
definitely
speak real
been
quick
some.
because I really don't have much to say about it musically wise because a lot of stuff did come out. So I'm still like I'm only like halfway through the JID album, which I wasn't the greatest. I wasn't that much into it. I like this VCR track. That's dope. And then we'll see how the rest of it is. But it definitely gives me the impression it's going to be one I'm going to have to listen to multiple times to get over, or not get over, but get into or whatever. And that's the same way I felt about the Freddie Gibbs, like in Alchemist. I was listening to that one and I was like, the first one, no thank you. Second time listening to it, all right. Third time, like I'm starting to appreciate it more. But the first couple of tracks I was listening to just seemed like as the same track, just like with a small little tweak. So there wasn't much difference from this song to that song to that song to that song. I feel like I felt the same way, kind of like with Clips, where like I listened to it the first time and I was like, good, but it wasn't great. And then that certainly grew on me, so I enjoyed that. And then last I can think of course, was the Juicy J. I enjoyed that one as well. But all the new music that I've listened to, none of it has shifted my range of like what I have for my album of the year. So that's
Wow.
all I have to say at the moment, but I'm sure I'll chime in with whatever you guys say as well.
that's funny. I almost got the exact same take for the most part. It's like, especially with the Freddie Gibbs and Alchemist, because I told you before, like I never really been super into Freddie Gibbs. Like I heard some of the stuff, I was like, yeah, he never really appealed to me. But I was like, oh, let me give it a shot. So I was like, I played it once. I was like, that's straight. I was like, let me give it another one. I was like, two, okay, this is kind of clean. I like that. The Beeson for the production for already had me from jump, but just like his flow and his rap, I was like, eh. But like I said, the third time I listened to it, I was like, okay, dang, this is actually kind of clean. That Ensalada track, the empanadas track, the I think it was like the lemon wings or whatever track. I was like, there's a few dope tracks on. I was like, okay, this is I ain't mad about it. Okay, I may have be come a little Freddie fan. We'll see.
It's a lemon pepper
And
hot
then
stepper.
yeah, that little hot stepper
Yeah.
was kind of clean. There's a couple tracks, and then that track where he kind of took the flow of Ice T, like Colors track. Um,
Mm.
I was like, okay. And but that Clips album, that was dope. That was fire from jump for me. It took me probably two or three times to actually appreciate it more and more. But when I first heard it, I was like, okay, this is dope. But like I said, the second and third time I heard it, I was like, dang, okay, they killed it. They killing the game on this one. But I haven't listened to the JID yet. All I listened to was the one track with the clips on there, and that was clean. I
Community.
haven't listened to the whole thing yet. I'm gonna have to peek that out this weekend or today.
Harold.
Nice. Um, well, I was dividing them into fire, then decent, and then meh. And like the fire ones for me, Clips and Freddie Gibbs, like top of the top tier. I've been playing those back to back. Clips surprised me because I've never really been a huge Clips fan
Really?
before. They had a couple tracks here and there. I love Cop Damn from back in the day. I love, some of them, but I don't like the whole projects. I never liked any of them, whether it be Lord Willin', whether it be Hell Have No Fury, whether it be, I just, I don't know. So this actually was my favorite album of theirs total. Um, and just so many surprises from that. The Freddie Gibbs, I feel like he keeps wanting upping himself, and he has a hell of a catalog. It's up there challenging people like Rick Ross in like beat selection and rapping ability. I like how he doesn't have a lot of featurings, but the ones he does have make sense. So I still like that one. And I think it's way better than Alfredo 1 because I wasn't a huge fan of Alfredo 1. I feel
Ooh.
like that one was a little low energy, like just a little, I don't know, like typically what you would expect from Alchemist. And I think this one was a little different from Alchemist. So I like that he stretched himself a little bit more and added more soul samples to it and not just almost that like dark, mysterious beat stuff.
That's interesting. You feel like this one was higher energy or high energy, not higher, but just high energy for the chorus?
Higher energy with more soul samples, I guess, that just fit better. I don't know.
Okay.
It's more modern than the old school, I guess, that
Got
Alchemist is
you.
known for, in
Okay.
my opinion. The decent albums, the Currency one, I think is surprisingly good. Um,
Forgot to mention that one. That
because
one like almost put me to sleep the first time listening. So again, another one it had to grow on me. Like I don't know, there's something about music this period where it's just not like jumping out at
there
me, I
is.
guess. But it's good nonetheless, yeah.
It was good. Yeah, I was surprised. It sounded different. Like it was a different sound from him, even though it was a lot of familiar producers that he had on there with,
Mhm.
the Monster Beats and the Harry Fraud, et cetera, et cetera. The JID album, I think, is decent. He did come up with a prequel, which is weird, like a prequel deluxe. I don't know how they did that, but he added four songs in the beginning, and one of those, I think it's called like Lucy, Lisa, or something like that, is on another level. It's dope. So I'm like, oh, this should have been on it. But some of the other ones, I'm like, you didn't even need to like release these. These definitely feel like cutting room floor songs. And I have a question to you guys about that later. But I like the album. It has ups and downs. I think, and, Don kind of mentioned a little bit of it, that like, it being long. I don't know if it feels long, but I feel like it has too many changes of mood where it sounds hard and like it's, a lot of high energy songs in the beginning. And then he gets like super low energy R&B almost, doing
Mhm.
more melodic stuff. And then he's like, but wait, I'm not done. And then he goes back into some more like trying to be hard stuff and with more featurings of, you know, Jesse Reyes and some of the other like female singers and stuff. And I just don't know what story he's trying to tell. Like it doesn't seem like a cohesive album because there's so many moments. So I like it, but I don't know if I like all of it. I think I agree with you that VCR track does stand out as like one of the doper ones.
It
The
stands out, but then going back to what you just mentioned, though, like right after VCR, I get into skate and like completely like 180 change. So I get exactly what you're saying about like
yeah,
what like. So I guess I got more of that to look forward to
yeah.
in the second half of the album, I guess.
So yeah, there's that. There's the other thing that I thought was just decent was actually the Rock Marcy album. So he did come out with a new little EP with DJ Premier,
DJ Premier, yeah, it's good.
and I like it, but again, maybe it's a weird take. I love the rapping on it. I like the metaphors he's mixing with it. I'm not a big fan of DJ Premier's samples. I think DJ Premier kind of dropped the ball a little bit on it, and it just the Amarni section song sounds good. It sounds well polished. The other ones kind of sound like thrown together. And so I don't know if supposedly he's going to be producing like 4 or 5 other EPs, trying to do like a little mini Kanye run where he's doing a lot of projects for different people, including Nas at the end. So there's supposed to be a Nas DJ premiere at the end of the year. I don't know if this is going to be a preview of what that's going to be like, but I was not a fan of his production. So um, I liked it. It was short. It was like 8 songs, but only like 18 minutes, 19 minutes. So I was like, disaster. And then the meh ones for me, Tyler. Sorry, I thought the Tyler album was meh. Tried it, even tried what they had like a new version that was released from it, the like something something part one released version. Um, was not a huge fan of it. I guess I'm just not in the mood for the dancey version of Tyler,
Mhm.
even though he dabbles in that. Just the project. Juicy J, the Head on a Swivel. I tried to like some of it, and I like some of the Project Pat sounding songs, but I just couldn't get with it. I think that one seemed too long. Um, the Raekwon album. So I wanted to like it, but it's forgettable in many ways. I'm just, I don't need it. The Joyner Lucas. I'm over him. Like that one was
I
meh.
didn't even bother with that.
Um, so yeah, there's a bunch of those, and I can go on, but yeah, just those are my overall thoughts. I did listen to some more R&B, so I do want to hear like if Don, if you listen to those, or Quincy, that K1 was dope. I'd put that in the fire category. The Bryson Tiller, decent. That one just came out like a couple days ago. That one was decent, but it was not the typical Bryson Tiller you would hear. And then Giveon, that's a meh. Like I'm just over him. So blaze right through those. Let's see what are your thoughts? I'm sure you disagree with a lot of that, Don.
You know what? I don't disagree with a crazy amount. I won't go. I listen to everything and then some more, so I won't go crazy into detail. I agree with the fire categories. Clips to me, it's got to be our rap album of the year. I think from
Oh,
very
over the
jump,
Larry June.
yes, and I'll. It's tough. It's like A or B for me. But so Clips album to me from the very very first song, like they grasp you. Like I mean, talking about their parents. You know what I'm saying? Like that's why I don't know what some people, Brian or whoever, or actually a bunch of other people say like it took a minute or two or a listen or two to get into it. From track one, like they're already got you emotionally, and then straight to track two, Chains and Whips, like it gets hard, boom, ace trumpets, boom, hard, POV, boom, hard. Like it just gets harder and harder and harder. There's not one bad song to me. Like it's not. So it didn't take long for me to get into it. Go ahead, Brian.
Well, and I guess just to clarify, like it wasn't like yes, that first song hella dope. It draws you in, but then like so like if you're on a roller coaster, you're like oh, and then like some of the songs just kind of bring you down. It's just kind of like And I think Harold pointed out at one point like one of the last couple tracks where they have Pharrell on the chorus or whatever. It's kind of like And then as far as there not being like, there's not one bad song or whatever. Like Ace Trumpets, that was one of the singles, and that took me a while to get into Ace Trumpets, even after like listening to the single once or twice. But once the actual album came out, so
Fair,
but yeah, but for me, yeah, like it's just like I
fair.
had to listen a little bit more to like
I think
get
one of
the
the cool
full
things it
take of it.
does, though, I think it's great rapping, great production, but it also, in some ways, leaves you wanting more, which
Oh,
is always a good
100%.
thing.
I can't wait for another Clips project. So listen, for me, like, and I'll keep it short. Like, I'm biased because I've said before, Pharrell's my favorite producer of all time. And
Wow.
when oh yeah, I stand on that. And when he gets with the Clips, it's like never a miss. Like the way you said about you weren't big Clips fans, I was a big Clips fan. Like I love Hell Hath No Fury. Their Got It for Cheap
Lord
mixtape
willing, for
is
me,
one
that
of
was
my
dope.
favorite mixtapes ever. So that combination of Clips and Pharrell is never a miss for me. And hearing Malice come back, like the way he did, Malice's bars are like damn near perfect. You know what I'm saying? And like not even just an age wise, for him to like leave the game for so long and come back and then be perfect, like you have to respect that. So to me, the Clips undeniable fire. It's not even a question to me. Um, Freddie Gibbs, I won't say it took me a minute. I loved it the first time. I liked it even more the second time. Um, there are a couple of songs that like are iffy for me, but I mean the standouts, the intro song 95, love the soul sample on that. Ensalada, Empanada, that run were like 3 or 4 tracks. You know what I'm saying? Like it just goes amazing. Gas Station Sushi, fire. Um, even when he's taking shots at Spitta, which I hate, but whatever. Overall is fire. Now, where I do disagree with Harold is I like Alfredo 1 a lot. I don't know if I like this more than Alfredo 1, but Alfredo 1 to me was shorter and a little more cohesive. So I think if I had to compare the two right now, I'd probably put Alfredo 1 a little higher. I'd have to listen to this one a little more before I go back, but Alfredo 1 to me was a little more on the cohesiveness side. So I definitely like that. But Alfredo 2, amazing. Um, JID's album I like a lot. It's not super fire to me, but I do like it a lot. I think with me, you have to understand, like with today's music, every beat is gonna change. Like that's just what it is today. You're not really gonna find a 3.5, 4 minute beat the same for the most part. There's gonna be a change at some point. That's just how music is because everybody's attention span is short. So like I've trained my ears to be able to like wait for a beat switch. You almost hear it. You know when it's coming. So with JID, I'm not surprised that you're on a high, then you're on a low, then you're on a high, then you're on a low. Like it's like that with every artist these days for the most part. They had some of that on the Clips even. You know what I mean? But JID's album's new, so I'm not gonna sit there and like give it too much of an in-depth yet. But from what I've heard, I like it. Tyler's album, that one did have to grow on me. First spin was cool. Second spin, a little better. I've now found like my standouts. It's 28 minutes. It's quick, so I feel like I can put it on, and it is quick. Plus, Taylor plays that thing like 80 times a day. So,
Well, since you guys went to the concert, right?
yeah, if I'm not playing it,
Okay.
I hear it in her headphones or she's playing it in her room. But obviously not one of my favorite Tyler albums. But I mean, there's some standout tracks. Ring, ring, ring. I love that song. I can play that song constantly. Sugar on My Tongue. I love. Um, Stop Playing With Me. I just like the production. I'm not a fan of like what he was saying, but Stop Playing With Me is dope. It's got some good production on it. I'm not mad at it. It is a little more on the dancey side, but I don't mind that. Coming off of Chromacopia, which was like super introspective and pretty deep, which and I still think is probably one of his best projects. To do a quick little 28-minute dance album, I'm not mad at that. I respect Tyler for it. Um, Let me see. What else did we discuss? Oh, Juicy J. I liked it only because his previous joint he did with Logic I thought was absolute trash. And I stand on that. I don't know what Harold was smoking when he said he liked it. You were wrong. That was horrible. It just was, bro. Like Logic's basic production, like he was trying to get in the Logic pocket and it just didn't work. You know what I'm saying? And that's maybe
I
not.
don't.
No,
I don't know what to say.
It didn't work. I'm sorry. Like if you just listen, it's almost like he didn't even sound comfortable on it. Like he wasn't Juicy J on the beat. It just wasn't. So to hear this one and get back to his trap, his hope, like back to that southern like Memphis tip pause, that's what I needed. The songs are quick, they're a minute and a half to 2 minutes. You got the Project Pack feel on it. I can appreciate it. Anytime Juicy J puts out an album like this, I'm gonna bump it. Is it classic? No, but it's Juicy J and I can respect it. So overall, I like the majority of those. They just did the quick little deluxe to Life is Beautiful. It was only 2 extra tracks. I liked them both. Didn't really change much for me. Still in contention for album of the year. You guys know I'm an IDK fan. He put out a deluxe to his album from last year. I enjoyed that. So it's a lot of good music. On the R&B tip, really quick, the K1, I told you about it. I still play that album. It's up there for me. Super concise, super dope. Definitely wanting more, like Harold said. Giveon, I'm going to be completely honest. I don't like his voice. But with that being said, I love heartbreak bars. This brother is heartbroken and it is good music. Okay. If you like heartbreak bars, give it a shot. It's good. It's a good album. I don't like his voice, but it is a good album.
Bars is a stretch.
I mean, not bars like lyrical miracle and all that, but like heartbroken music. Like the brother is upset and sad. You can hear it. It's good. It's a good album. I'm sure there's more. There's a couple like
I'm gonna have to get my daughter, my oldest, in here to defend her dude Giveon because y'all hate him, but
I
I
don't. His voice isn't for me, but and then there's a couple like little Lucy's here and there. D Smoke put out a song with Lucky Day that's really dope called Frequency. Really, really solid joint. It just dropped on Friday. Disclosure dropped something with Anderson .Paak. It's like a house vibe if you're into that. Super dope. There's some good music out, man. This second half, third quarter, whatever you want to call it, really, really solid time for music. I was getting nervous because it was slow for the first part of the year, but bro, between clips, between Freddie, JID, the Raekwon joint, you were right. Outside of that song with Nas, it is forgettable. And I hate that because Raekwon is a GOAT, but man, it was not good. So
are y'all looking forward to what is it, Iceman or whatever he's coming out with?
I was gonna ask about that. I am actually, yeah.
You know what? I'm not, because the What Did I Miss thing was whatever. The little soca song he tried to do with Central C wasn't hitting. I'm not a Drake hater, but even if you just look around him now, him walking around with like this new accent he has all of a sudden, I don't know, man. Shout out to Drake because he's a legend, but I'm not looking for an Iceman. I'm not.
It does sound like hater vibes. I'm just being honest. That's what it does sound. It sounds like hater vibes because it's like, all right,
I don't like the song.
And well, here's the thing too. I mean, like, I'm not gonna deny, yeah, like Drake, like sometimes it seems like he tries too hard, but
that's hater. That's just what I said.
No. I'm saying he tries too hard. That's just a trait of what he does.
I said the same thing.
Like,
so how does that classify as hating?
I'm not looking forward to it. This was at least to me, it came off like a little haterish because, like you said, we haven't even heard any songs yet, really. Like
so if I would have said he's trying too hard with the accent, that wouldn't be hating. But me saying I'm not looking forward to the song is a hate.
Semantics.
He's like,
I don't know. I guess I have to revisit how I was thinking. Like, dang, that sounds haterish or whatever. But like,
no, because listen,
it just seemed very negative or put off about how you're like, no, I'm not interested in
it. For me, hating is not giving it a chance. I listened to the song "What Did I Miss." I watched that 45-minute random thing he did where he's just walking around in a warehouse doing nothing, and then all of a sudden the song comes on. What did I miss? I watched it. And it's not that good of a song, you know what I mean? And then I watched him driving in the Iceman truck and yelling at people, and
even with the lyricism and what he's saying, like,
no,
I appreciate that song more so than, and I'm not saying it's a better song than what Kendrick's put out, and obviously like everybody, no, hear me out. This is what I'm trying to say. It's not a better song than They Not Like Us or whatever, right? It's not a better song than that, but I appreciate that when you listen to What Did I Miss and the lyrics and what he's saying, there's validation behind some of that. Calling Drake like a whatever, okay, it's not really like validation. It's like, yeah, he has some like lyrics or where they're kind of like, and maybe people around him might be like that, but like everybody calling Drake A minor, like, nah.
I only said that.
If he was, why the fuck is the dude not locked up? You know what I mean? That's one thing. But again, listening to the lyrics when Drake's talking about like, yeah, I put this dude on, and I put this dude on, and like, yeah, I put like, like their careers have progressed because of me, and now they're hating on me. Oh, it's like that. Okay, well, F y'all. What did I mean? Like, I'm like the lyricism, things that he's saying, I do appreciate that in the song. I don't like the song as much as, again, Not Like Us, but I do acknowledge it, and I appreciate that. And that's what has me being like, oh, dang, I wonder what else he's going to say. Looking forward to the album. I'm not saying it's going to be great, but I'm looking forward to it.
So 2 very quick things. Number 1, the reason why I reacted that way is because are we ever going to be able to have a conversation about Drake by himself without talking about Kendrick? Kendrick has nothing to do with you asking, do I like the What Did I Miss song? it means nothing. And number two, that again sounds like hate. You saying I appreciate the song but don't like it. That's what I said. I don't like the song, so I'm not
I
hating.
don't like
And
it. I just said it's not as good as the
man,
other
you just
one.
said I don't like it. You said I appreciate what he says, but I don't like it. You
I
just said,
don't like it better than Not Like Us.
all right,
But
bro.
I do.
Semantics.
I was bumping. I was bumping it like the other day when I was in the car. Like, what did I miss? Like, because I'm thinking like, well, what did I miss in lyrics? Maybe there's something underlying that I don't like.
No,
So
the thing
Not that
is,
deep.
it's the song is whack. All right, I'm just gonna keep it a buck. It has nothing to do with Kendrick's Not Like Us. The thing is, the reason why, and it's not hating. To me, it's like he lost the battle. Okay, get over it. He lost it. Everyone knows he lost the battle, but he's gonna keep on going, and he's gonna keep on throwing little subtle jabs and this and that. And he sounds soft, low key. He really does. Like you lost the battle, bro. Like you're still a billionaire. You're still literally on the top of the charts. You can put a song out. You had the song of the summer. You had us doing the Nokia. I like that song. So
exactly.
I'm not a Drake hater. I'm really not. But when you do stuff like this, you do this weird rollout, this Iceman driving around in a truck, and you put out mid songs. I'm gonna tell you, I'm a Kendrick fan. If Kendrick rolled around in a truck in LA and put out a mid song, I'm gonna say you put out a mid song. Drake put out a mid song. The second song with Central C that got released is a mid song. Like he's putting out mid projects. So no, I'm not looking forward to this Iceman album. I'm gonna listen to it because I'm a music head and I want to give a actual opinion. I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna listen. But no, when I hear the first two singles and they're not good, no, I'm not looking forward to it. That's not hating. That's just keeping it a buck.
Yeah. I will say what I am looking forward to is Wale because he's
Mm.
a crazy run.
Bro, that song
Yeah.
he did you listen to the freestyle I told you to listen to with Pusha? Absolutely insane.
Yeah,
He's on a
it was
run.
super short, but yes.
He's on a run.
I'm looking forward to Wale, but I'm also looking forward to Chance Rapper because I just want to see if he's done or if he still has something in him. Like I'm holding out hope, but especially because post relationship, maybe he's got a lot to get off his chest. He's been in the studio cooking up something for however many years, so I'm curious. But I'm thinking because who was it? Some people used to say that Fabulous couldn't come up with albums.
Mhm.
He was only good on mixtapes and only good with freestyles and all that stuff. I wonder if people feel the same way about Wale. Like he's doing a lot of these dope freestyles, he's doing a lot of nice rapping, but do they think that he could come out with a smash album, whatever? Or
Bro, he's got two, at least one, potentially two classic. Gift is a classic album.
yeah,
Attention Deficit, I think is a phenomenal album. The album About Nothing, I think is really good. Like,
yeah.
I don't know, he's got for at least three solid albums. Mixtapes, yeah, the Much Ado About Nothing mixtape is fire, and the Falarin mixtape is fire. But in terms of like his albums, yeah, Attention Deficit.
I do feel like that. Yes, I do love his albums too. I feel like though his album mode is different than his whatever it is. His
Oh,
I'm
it is.
messing around Lucy freestyle mode. And so can he translate the barring into something that is more mainstream or over, solid production?
It just depends on where his head is at. I mean, because he did that back in the day. Like he gave us before the album Before Nothing mixtape, which was
For the
super
MMG stuff
fire.
too?
Yeah, and then Gifted came out, and Gifted is a like again to me probably a classic album. And he had bars on there, but he had like the Lady records, and he had like as a very cohesive album. I like Wale. Wale puts out good music to me, so I don't doubt for a second that he could put out a really really good album. I'm looking forward to that. I forgot about that.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I forgot to mention with the Tyler, in my opinion on that one, pretty much the same as the consensus. It's like I thought it was just like like I listened to it twice. There's like one or two tracks. I was like, okay, cool. But for the most part, I've never been a Tyler fan. But I was like, okay. And with the Giveon, he's I don't know. There's like hit or miss. Like sometimes it's like all right. Sometimes like I kind of feel the same way as Don, where like I don't like his voice all the time. It's like I don't know. But I haven't gave it the new album a shot. I might have heard one track off there because Pandora plays the stuff I like and stuff. So I probably heard a single or stuff, but I haven't like listened to the whole new album. So I'll give it a shot to see if it's decent. But for the most part, yeah, he's hit or miss for me.
I
Yeah.
listened to some one-offs really quick. I listened to the new Gunna album because I like Atlanta rap. It was whatever to me. I'm not like a big Gunna fan, but I gave it a shot. I am looking forward to Offset's album because that song Bodies with JID is really good. So, and he's got a couple other songs out that he dropped that I like. So I'm gonna listen to the Offset album too. Um, and then in terms of R&B, like there's some I'm looking forward to. I can't wait for the Summer Walker album to come out. Um, Kehlani's been doing good. That folded song is fire. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. Um, I don't know, man. It's a good time for music right now. I'm like where music's at. I have like enough to where like I'm not feel like what do I want to listen to next? Like Clips, boom, I can knock that out. And then, Freddie, I can knock that out. There's a lot of good music right now. I'm here for it.
Yeah, surprisingly, because I know last year this conversation was a little different. You're like, hey, nothing really going on, but this year they put in work. I ain't mad about it.
Well, and it
There's
has
some
me wanting to hear people that I haven't heard. Like he mentioned Wale. I wouldn't even have said Wale's name last year. But now like I'm
yeah,
actually anticipating it. Like there's a bunch of people that like I wasn't anticipating, but now that I know that they're dropping the music, Ross, I can always go for a Ross project. The song he did with Pharrell really wasn't good. So I'm just gonna see if he comes out with something else. But now I'm kind of, looking forward to a Ross album if he decides to do something. Um, but yeah, man, some good music out
So
there.
I was thinking about the two products that we were kind of robbed of. I don't know. Well, so I feel like we never really got to see the fruition of Slaughterhouse
Mm-hmm.
and what their ensemble, their collection, whatever could do over maybe non-shady beats because they were signed to Shady Records, and so they had a lot of Eminem influence over some of the beat production.
Mm-hmm.
It would be cool if it was over Dre production, but that wasn't gonna happen.
Yeah.
But the other one, there's been leaks now. Have you seen the CRS leaks from Child Rebel Soldier?
Finally,
And so
yes.
Kanye, Lupe, and Pharrell with that super group they were supposed to produce, and there's only what two tracks that have ever come out from that.
Don't stop.
That could have been something.
It
Um,
it should have been something. You know what's funny? I actually went back to Don't Stop about a month ago. Um, oh my God. It should have been something. But I mean, and for those, who are watching this, if you don't know, go listen to Don't Stop. Child Rebel Soldier, CRS, that's what it's for. Lupe, Kanye, Pharrell, supergroup. It should have been in all in their peaks, it should have been like the most timeless music in the
2006, 2007, yeah.
yeah, I mean, even if you go back to Don't Stop, you can hear it. You can hear Pharrell on there. You can hear Kanye on there in terms of the production. And Lupe was going crazy lyrically on that. So, no, that should have like definitely been trend setting music. And I saw that there were leaks, but I didn't hear them yet. I've only heard the two songs, but yeah, it should have been something. It definitely should have been. And it sucks because I know we'll never get that again. Even if they attempted to come back, it wouldn't sound the same because they're all past their prime.
Yeah.
Uh,
Exactly. Yeah.
so it would be whack at this point. I think if they tried it again. And today, I don't even know if like I'd be interested in any type of super group. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't even know who could come together and create a super group unless they were actual group, right? But I don't know if I'd want to see like a collective come out, random collective, and put a project
But I
together.
just I just sit there and imagine like what's on people's hard drives of all the stuff that just is unreleased or hasn't come out. Like remember, I want to say it was LeBron that just sat with Kendrick and was like, "You need to put this out," and he came up with that unreleased album, right?
Yeah.
Of just random stuff, with the head is the option, like he had those tracks that sounded kind of like jazzy inspired,
Yeah.
almost like a prelude to like the To Pimp a Butterfly type songs. And it was some good stuff on there, right? And so if it's just you had some other curator or some other person that had insight to be like, why is this not coming out? Or why is this I mean, you can't have 25 track albums, and so they have to
I
cut.
mean,
But I just
I
go
I
ahead.
feel like yeah, that's artists in general, where like you make a whole bunch of like for every album that has like 15 tracks, they probably had a total of like 40 tracks to choose
But
from.
that's not everybody. Some of them say, I only make what I put out. I'm not going to waste my time with
The clip
random
said that.
raps.
The clips in the interview, someone asked like, so how many sessions did you do? How many songs you had? And Malice is like, what you guys hear is what we recorded. He's like, we don't have an extra 20, 30 songs in the tuck. This is it. We recorded 15 tracks, maybe scrapped one.
Yeah.
This is it right here.
That said, though, didn't they say that they had the album like done like a year or some odd time ago,
Yeah.
but they didn't, it got pushed back because the whole beef and
Independent.
whatnot and so on. So I mean, so like I have to imagine somewhere in the archives they have some tracks. Now, it wasn't tracks that they necessarily had intended for this album, but and that's why, and I say that in regards to like pretty much all artists, because think about how many artists have passed away, and then what happens shortly after they pass away. They have albums come out. They just had like a I want to say it was a Mac Miller album that came out or something like that or whatever, right?
Yeah, a couple months
They're
ago.
probably still coming out with more Prince, because Prince obviously made millions of tracks or whatever, right? And so I think like that's always the case. So I'm not too surprised when like we do hear new music from like people, or it's been forever and a day, and then something else comes out. It's just like you said though, Don, where it's like they're past their prime or whatever, or like that time period has passed, so you're not really that motivated by it. So
I
for me,
would.
I'm just like, oh, cool, new music, whatever.
I think like more artists should do like a from the vault series because every single producer. I mean, Dre's got Detox he never released. I'm sure he's sitting on a whole album from all the Detox sessions. You hear all the
Well, you
rappers.
don't want to get sued from all the samples you haven't cleared. Like that's probably most of it.
True, true, but I mean, you hear all the there's so many rappers and singers that like, oh yeah, I went in for the Detox section and session and we did this, we did that. I'm sure Pharrell and the NERD and Neptunes, they've got something, and I'm sure Kanye's got years of stuff from Consequence, from Sight, everybody. I'm sure every producer you can imagine has got. I mean, JID, he was just doing an interview with Joe Budden. He was like, I did a whole album, didn't like it, so we scrapped it. So like, when they say scrapped, I'm sure there's 30 songs right there that he didn't like the direction, but we might like it. So yeah, I'm sure artists just need to do that. Like this is a quick little from the vault series, nothing crazy, quick little 10 pack. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like a Nas with the
Yeah,
lost
there
tapes.
were a leak of
So about
three
to say
songs that
that
came out of Glass House, which was
Yeah,
that lost
yeah,
Slaughterhouse album.
yeah. I mean, they say it
Sounded
all the time.
dope.
They got a whole Glass House album, and they talk about how fire that is, right? You know what I mean? So
I think
yeah,
I think part of it too is that like the record labels, like they kind of hold them back from releasing certain things. So it's like, oh yeah, that's not going to work with like your demographic right now. Or, oh, we don't want you to take this shift, this change. Or like they come out with something and then like flashback to Eminem or whatever, where he had that Christopher Reeves track off his new album or whatever, right? And he even raps about talking about like, oh yeah, we had this song long, long time ago, but it's right after he died, so I couldn't put this out. So certain events will prevent people from releasing certain things. So again, back to support what you're saying, yeah, if they just had archive, and even the whole thing with like samples and stuff and clearing them out, like no one says you have to put it out to make money, just release it, like release it on YouTube like all these other. You can't
But
sue me if I just did it and I'm not trying to make a profit out of it. You know what I mean? I mean, you probably sue
yeah.
me, but still, you know what I
I
mean?
feel
So
like I feel like there should be like a statute of limitations. Like if you recorded it 10 years or more, you know what I'm saying? The record label should be like, yeah, just throw it out. Quick little put on a mixtape.
a little Drake leak,
Yeah, yeah,
100
little,
gigs,
yeah, little like, website Drake leak,
100
you know what I'm
gigs.
saying? Little file, just throw it out. You know what I'm saying? Like something for the fans to keep them, fed while we're on tour or while we're recording an actual cohesive project. Like these are non-mixed, non-master. This is something we were thinking about, like Untitled. You know what I mean? Throw it out
mhm.
there, and it's fire. We like Untitled. You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
and disagreeing with your premise a little bit, Brian, like a lot of people don't like the music, the way it's going, the current direction, the beat switch and only 2 minute songs. And so some people
Mhm.
are still stuck in the late 2000s, early 2000s, late 90s, whatever it was, and they want to hear the old school Corrupt in his heyday. They want to hear some of the songs, where Wale was mixing it up with
I
Currency and
get
J.
that.
Cole, and there was the freshman double what do you call it? Hip hop
Double
double XL
XL.
cover, stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah,
There's a lot of tracks from that era. There's Dreamville stuff, they just disbanded, but I'm sure they got a lot of stuff just
I get that, but at the same time, you got like yes, and I say that all the time, especially with like the old Kanye. It'd be dope to listen to the old Kanye. The problem, just like I was saying when I talked about like, oh, it's hard to listen to Kanye so much sometimes and so on and so forth, is that it's like, yeah, I listened to old Kanye where like he just releases like some unreleased stuff or whatever, and I'm like, dang, like this brings me back to college, and like college dropout and like all that. Like I could get those feels, but immediately right after, I'm like, dang, like this is the dude that just showed up in the black, swastika KKK, like yeah. So that's gonna change my vibe. Just like if I'm listening to Snoop Dogg, who's like been doing his thing with Martha Stewart and everything like that. he starts talking on some gangster rap, like, murder was the case, and it's like, nah, dude, you baking cookies, like so
I, I, I,
so so yes, to an extent, it people do want to hear that. I'm with it, but also it's kind of hard to listen to the old stuff and relate it to the person they are now.
I thought
Go ahead, Don.
you guys used to get on my ass saying that you could separate the artist from the art.
I
That is a
acknowledge that.
complete
I acknowledge that.
contradiction. Hold
I
on,
told
that's a
you.
complete contradiction of separating the artist from the art. You just said that you can't listen to Snoop Dogg that makes cookies and
Uh-huh.
appreciate the art he made back in the day. I said that same shit half a year ago, and y'all got on my ass. That is a complete contradiction of
Yes,
artist versus art.
yes, but go back and look at our previous videos. There is a video where I had to say, like, I gotta give it up to Don. He was right because I was in the car coming home from work and I was listening to Kanye and I couldn't separate it. That's what I acknowledged it. I acknowledged, like, yeah, my bad. I understand what you're saying now. And then I still argued it though, because you know me, I have to be separate. I still argued and said the thing with R. Kelly is that I'm not that big into R. Kelly as I am to Kanye. So the people that I'm big into, yeah, it's kind of hard for me to separate them. But if it's again like you guys are just talking about Wale, I never cared about Wale's music. So if I hear Wale now and it sounds just as dope as it was when he first came out, it's like, all right, cool. Because I don't pay attention to him. He's still. If I see a picture of Wale, I see a dude with his dreads, goatee, short as a motherfucker, rocking some phone posits. That's exactly what I see or what I think in my head when I think of Wale. Now he could be a completely changed, like, style dude and everything, but to me, he's the same motherfucker.
No,
And
no, I
that's like
just
again,
that Snoop Dogg example, the Kanye one, cool, whatever, because I told you I'm off of Kanye, but the Snoop Dogg example kind of threw me for a loop because, like, yeah, he's older and he's Uncle Snoop and all that. He's like everybody's best friend. But if we heard like an old track from his Doggy Style Days session and it's fire, like I can respect it. I'm not gonna look at it like he's the cookie bacon being on TV with the white lady person. I'm like, no, like he's still Snoop, and
okay,
you can understand and appreciate like the I'm sure whatever song he did, the production that's
let
probably
me clarify.
Dre.
Let me clarify. Yes, if it's like, hey, I'm Snoop. I'm putting this out. I recorded this back in 1994. Okay, I'm down with it. I'm down with it. If you put out music right now in 2025 that sounded like 1994, where he's talking about smoking and weed, that's where I'd be like, yeah, no, I can't
Well,
vibe with
yeah,
it.
Well,
that's
So
why?
different.
It's but
my
that's
my
still
clarif-
him.
my apologies. What?
So wait, Don, but Don, what about this one though?
Okay.
Does you said you're off Kanye? They
Yes.
put out that CRS Lost Project. Does he taint the whole group from being part of Charlie Rose a Soldier, but Kanye's an affiliate?
No, of course not. Because I'm still, you guys, like I said, I'm a Pharrell stan. So I'm still listening to Pharrell. I'm still listening to Lupe because Lupe is fire. And again, like I don't mind listening. You're right. I can't when I hear Yay, I'm gonna have to like drain it out, right? But it's not, I am just being honest. But it's not just Kanye. I'm not gonna say I can't listen to Pharrell now because Kanye's on it. I love that number one song that they did. You know what I'm saying? I just don't listen to Kanye's verse. Or I love what he did. Anything with Lupe or any type of production that anybody did with Kanye. Like I'll still listen to it. I'll still listen to Luda or anybody that Kanye produced. Like I can't not because it's that. Um, but no, if a CRS album drops tomorrow, I'm absolutely listening to it because Pharrell's on there and Lupe's on there. And I mean, I would like to hear where Kanye's mind was in '06, and I can appreciate where they were headed. But then at that point, like what Brian said, yes, it would be tough to hear it because it's Kanye, and I'm off that.
Quick question, just the curiosity and the humor in it.
But
Do you or would you still listen to Best of Both Worlds?
nah, I don't. On God, to
Okay.
this day, I don't. Nope.
I was like, 'cause I'm a
And and it
Jay-Z,
and it
but
sucks
yeah,
because
okay.
you guys know how I feel about Hov, but no, I can't because
Yeah,
R.
okay.
Kelly's all over that album.
Luckily, the album is pretty anyway, so
The first one is not best of both. That is hard, but no, I
it's
don't.
an intro, yeah.
I
Yeah.
can't. No, the album's good, but no, I don't listen to it. But the CRS, I definitely would, even with Kanye being on it.
All right, off of music. What y'all what else y'all's going through?
Life, man. Life is life, and the kids are back in school. You know me, like this August, man. This is where my pockets get beat up. I tell everybody 2 times out of the year when your pockets get tested. It's holiday time from November to January, right? And then for me, it's mid-July to end of August because you've got number one, summertime, right? So your electricity bills are through the roof. That's facts. And because it's summertime, you got to entertain the kids because they're at home. So grocery bills through the roof and, taking them out and just entertaining them, which is cool. Excuse me. And then Makai's birthday is July 19th. And then right after that, you got back to school. So, you got to get all the supplies and the gear and all of that stuff, shoes, and got to make sure they're fresh because they're my kids. So not sending them to school looking crazy. So took Jordan to the Nike store, got him some Nikes, took Taylor.
Oh, well, that means they don't got uniforms.
No, they do. They wear uniforms, but they can wear whatever shoe they want.
Oh,
So yeah, so that's the way they show their personality. Their socks and shoes. So like Taylor's really into like the long, different colored socks or whatever. And then the boys get whatever shoes they want. So Makai's got some threes and some ones. So took him school shopping.
Kobe ones, Kobe threes.
No, well, he likes Kobe.
I'm
He
just
likes Kobe, but he wears Jordan threes. He wears like
I'm just
Kobe.
messing.
He's like the actual basketball sneakerhead. So he wears like LaMelo Pumas. He wears Greek Freaks. He wears them all. He wears all the basketball shoes.
What's your thoughts on those Jordan 40s? The new ones.
You know what?
that
They're
just
not
dropped.
bad. They're not bad. It's one of the first signature Jordans that I've liked since like 32. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
I like the direction they were trying to go into. I'm not gonna buy them at retail. I'll wait till they hit the factory store. But no, I like them. I'm not mad at that. But yes,
I'd wait for some more colorways. Like I mean, it's a nice, safe colorway, but like I don't like the gray. If it's white and black, a little hint gray, but like having the whole front, it's
yeah,
weird
no,
to me.
the debut colorways usually you wait for the home style and the limited edition ones.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's dope. But yeah, no, so this time of year, man, because it was like, so we got back to school, we got birthday, then we got Mildred's birthday, 5 days later, Taylor's birthday, a week later, wedding anniversary, all in August. You know what I'm saying? So from July to August, my pockets are tested. That's why I'm out here Amazon whipping it. So I can hold it down for everybody. So
How many years is it gonna be?
uh what's this 2025? 7? 7 at 2017. 7 or 8. I think it's 8. It might be 8.
Yeah, 8.
So yeah, man, which you already know what it is. You've been
Give me the catch out
time
guard.
is going by. Fam.
Hey, carry the.
But no, so that's just what it's just life right now, man. Back to school vibes, getting everyone acclimated. Jordan started 6th grade, so he's officially junior high. Taylor's in 8th grade, so this is her last year as junior high before going to high school. So it's just dealing with those transitions, but it's all been good. It's a hustle, but it's fun though. No complaints. I'm hella blessed.
That's what's up.
So what you, Quincy?
Shoot, almost the same.
Crabs. I mean, the real ones.
Yeah, we were supposed to go fishing yesterday, but my boy had to work, and we thought about going today. But he's gonna hit up Vegas next weekend, so he got some odd jobs doing, a little side hustle, and then he's getting his hair twisted. He got dressed, so he's getting that retwisted for his trip next weekend. And it kind of sucks because like this is a prime weekend where the salmon are migrating because they call them pinks or humpies. They migrate every other year, and this is one of the years. But we still got all summer, so it's cool. But there's expected to be like between 7 to 8 million migrating. And the year before last when we went, we had 4 people on the boat, and within an hour, it's like to a limit. Within an hour, we all caught our limit and stuff. So that was kind of dope. So we went last weekend. They weren't migrating yet, so we didn't catch anything. But we dropped the crab pot. We got 10 crabs or whatever. So that was cool. I almost dropped the pot this morning. I was gonna drop a pot this morning just off the dock for a couple hours before the meetup. But I was like, yeah, I got lazy. I didn't feel like getting up at 5 in the morning and dropping it. Even though I was awake, I just didn't feel like going out of the house and doing it. So I'll just worry about that next weekend. But other than that, the same, just getting ready because our back to school didn't start yet for us. That starts in like 3 weeks or something like that. So I got him all his stuff. I got him just the school supplies. But probably going to take him clothes shopping next weekend. He's going camping with his aunt and uncle on Wednesday to Saturday or something like that. So when he gets back, I'll take them shopping and stuff and get some clothes. And other than that, just working. Same old, just.
Nice.
I went and I sort of shoot that picture. I went bowling yesterday. I was like, having bowling like over a year. That was kind of cool. But it was crazy that I hit 9, and then missed spare 4 times in a row. I was like, really? Are you serious? It was like right in the middle each time almost. But on the fifth one, I hit 9 again, but I actually got the spare. I was like, finally, if I missed that one, I was like, dude, there's something rigged on this bad boy.
Yeah.
But it was cool. I haven't been in a minute, so I went with a homie and we did that and just chilled.
I don't know about y'all schools, like where the kids go to, but our school, they're gangsters. And I say that because he was talking about school supplies. Fam, the things that they ask for, they are running some type of like crime ring with with pencils and pens and all of that because I gotta buy times three. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot. So thankfully Mildred held it down this year, thank God. But when we go drop everything off during school night, yo, they've got piles and piles. I'm like, y'all not going through 75,000 pencils. Like, what are we doing? My son, my kid does not need 50 pencils. They don't. They just don't. Or they don't need like 13 different binders when they only use 3. Like, they're running some type of like crime ring or a side hustle. I want to be a part of it because it's pissing me off how much money we spend on supplies that does not get used. Okay, I'm just being honest.
Yeah, they get used, but they use them for like one assignment, one project. So one day out of or 2 days out of the entire school period, they use this protractor, whatever it is they get you to use. But that allows them to justify you getting it so that then they can do whatever the crime ring equates to. And it is just the way like it is now. I think every school year, like, meet the teacher, they always pass you out with a sheet with the list of the things you need to get for your kid, but then also what they want you to get for the classroom, because God forbid, like, we actually have a government that like pays or funds schools, so that they can, have the supplies and stuff like that. And we went backpack shopping this year actually to get the kids backpacks, and it's funny because every backpack they have, it's like you get like the actual backpack, where it has the main compartment, then the little back compartment. Then they have like a little like side bag that's almost like a lunchbox, but it's not a lunchbox. Comes with that. And then there's a little side piece of the backpack where it has a water bottle in it. So the water bottle is there as well. And then this year they also have headphones.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what do they need headphones for? Come to find out on that list, sure enough, it says, yeah, headphones. The kids need to have headphones. So, I mean, like, there's some technology, computer-wise, whatever they're listening to, and it's like, damn, like,
well, for the first year at their school, all the kids got Chromebooks. So we have headphones now because this is the first year where kids from 5th grade on up, and of course, Makai being 5th, Jordan being in 6th, Taylor being in 8th, they all got Chromebooks. So that's why each of them need headphones. So that's another thing, you know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, it's solid. It's crazy.
There you go to
they're ridiculous.
Five Below and get some headphones at Five Below or the dollar store or something. I'm cool.
Yeah.
You say that, and then they break the next week, and now you're back at Five Below again, buying the same ones 7 times throughout the year. Trust me, I've already done it. So now I just spend the extra bread and just get them nice ones because they put it in, and all of a sudden, like the little speaker piece is stuck in their ear. Daddy, I can't get it out. So now it's like, let's go get you some good ones.
The problem, you get the good ones, yeah, they're not going to break, but they're going to get lost or they're going to get stolen. So
no, they will not. They won't get lost. They know
your kids are a little older, so maybe, but yeah, like at my kid's age, it's like, nah, let's get this flimsy breaking stuff. It'll break and then just get a new one.
Yeah.
If anything, they feel happy because now they got something brand new.
Facts.
They didn't realize it cost like $5 or less, but hey.
Shopping spree.
Same thing. The kicks you're talking about, like Makai having, this. I'm like, shoot, like, I don't know how long I'm gonna keep it up, but like for me, it's like, yeah, Chuck Taylors. Went to the Converse outlet, both got both kids Chuck Taylors. Like, left with 2 pair of kicks, less than $100. I'm like, that's a plus. I'll take that all the time, And at least right now, my kids, they're still at that age where like they're not recognizing name brands and stuff, so they ain't like looking for Nike or Jordan or whatever else. they're looking for the shoes that have the little like unicorn character or
Mhm.
the little like Minecraft character on
Lights
them. And
up
it's
or
like, all right,
something.
yeah, I will capitalize on that as much as possible. That's not to say I'm not going to try to keep them fresh with some gear, like.
Mhm.
So yeah, like at least one dope outfit, or I will get them again, the Chuck Taylors or whatever, and then like the next pair of shoes I'll get is like the Cat and Jack, unicorn shoes from Target or whatever. You know what I mean? But like
Yeah, yeah.
just mixing it up. It's just that right now, at least, it's not like everything name brand, hella fashion, so on and so forth. So
No, you're
I'll
lucky.
hold
You're
on to
lucky.
that as long as I can.
You're
And
lucky. For the most part, Jordan, he's not into that. He just wants something comfortable. He just wants a swoop. So like I can go get him a runner for 40 bucks and he's like, "Oh, these are dope." So I'm cool there. And Taylor, she's obsessed with Converse. So same, took her to the Converse outlet. She got two pairs, two of the highs for like 88 bucks. So she was geeked. Makai's the only, he's me, and I can't deny it. So he's like, "Hey dad, look, I'm on Nike.com and they happen to have this in my size still." And I'm like, "You little mutt." But he's me when I was a kid, and my parents were not doing that. So the
Yeah.
fact that I'm able to do so, I'm like, you know what? I'll work a couple of extra hours so you can step out fresh. And he likes feeling like, oh, I'm the only one in my class with this. And low key, I feel the same way.
Yep.
Like I bought him some I broke the bank a little bit, but for Christmas, I bought him some Travis Scott's in his size. And he is the only kid pretty much on campus with these Travis Scott lows. So
wow.
like he's always like, I got eighth graders coming up to me going like, "Oh, those are dope," and I'm like, "That's why we do it, sir." So,
That's what's
Shoot.
funny.
what about you, Harold?
What about you, Harold? No.
Yeah. No, it's interesting, especially talking about the shoes thing. Have you ever had, so I've had a couple situations where we get them shoes and then they just don't want to wear them because they're just happy with whatever they had previously. And
Yes.
I'm like, wait. So I just got you these. I think they would look good on you, but you just gonna pass on them because like, so we've had some of them where we get and then end up, taking them to consignment, kid to kid, or one of those Goodwill places, and just dropping them off almost basically brand new for nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So that's always the frustration of like, wait, no, you shouldn't get a choice. You must
Yeah.
wear this. I never had a choice like that. But sometimes they recognize what we're able to do and sometimes they don't. So that was the first thought I had. But
Item. That's what I do. The shoes that well, number one, you're wearing this or else. But because Makai's done that a couple of times. So I'll take the other shoes when he's sleeping and hide them and be like, those are your options right there. Like either you're gonna walk around barefoot or you're gonna put those shoes on. You have no choice. It's school time. Let's get it. So I just if it's a battle you just don't want to do every morning,
yeah.
just hide them and be like, these are the only options you have. So wear them.
Yep.
That works.
It
But
does. I did that before.
keep going. What else?
No, I've definitely. So we've had these revelations. We've done a lot of those like indoor jungle gyms, keeping them busy, like giving them a reason to get out there and let loose and play because it's been 117 in Arizona and you can be outside for 5 minutes without breaking a sweat, worrying about exhaustion and all that. So we're trying to make sure that they're able to stay busy. That was during the summer months. And our AC went out. Our air conditioning went out during July, so that was not fun. Um, so we finally got that resolved, but only like a couple days ago. But dealing with that was a struggle, but they were just troopers, super considerate, dealing with it. So you definitely I'm proud of, what our kids are as far as like being able to have fun, being able to make light of a situation, looking at the brighter side of things, and then seeing the contrast of like when you're at these jungle gyms or when you're out and about in public and just how terribly behaved some of these other kids are and being like, ooh, like, I don't know if that is a testament to what me and, wifey have done, or if that's just, you know, the nature of
Right.
how some of these kids were just grown up bad and they
No,
need a
it's
whooping.
definitely a
Like,
testament to you as a parent, definitely, because you
I mean, some of
like,
it I think is luck, some of it I think is nurture, but
yeah, it's a combination, but most of it's nurture. It's just like they see and they know and they like, okay, dad and mom's not gonna like if I did that. Not like I'm gonna get in trouble, but it's just like it's not cool. I can't do that at home. I'm not gonna do that here. Like that's not me. That's not who I am. Nah, trust me. I had the same experience with my little man like a couple years ago at one of his friends' birthday parties. because I only allow him like one drink or whatever, sweet drinks or whatever at a time, whatever. So he had one earlier that day, and all the kids ran to go get like another little drink or pop or whatever, and I was like, "Nah, dude, grab a water." And he looked, he's like, "Okay," and he grabbed the water, and then I didn't notice like, but I guess some kid was like, and one of the fathers came up to me later and told me this. He was like, another kid was like, "Here, you should have a pop." He's like, "No, my dad said no." And he's like, "So?" He's like, yeah, no." He said no, and opened the water and walked away. So he already knew. And the dad came up to me. He's like, "Dang, I see the kid, that the fact that you said no. He did it. He didn't try to sneak in." Or it's like, I was like, yeah, he knows better. He knows he only can have one. I told him no already, and he was responsible enough to not to try to sneak it. But yeah,
Yeah,
that's
it's
all it
funny.
is.
You say it's like luck, Harold, but I think 99% of it is just nurturing, being there, paying attention. And it's funny because with me, for example, I think my kids are bad, low key. Like they're respectful, but they like talk all the time. And Jordan's always talking and goofing around. But when we're in public, like we're always getting compliments from people. Oh, your kids are so well mannered, or like you said, at play places, without you even thinking it, yeah, they're running around having a good time. But when you say it's time to go, boom, they're all lined up. Or when you say, hey, let's sit down and have a break, drink some water, they're doing that. They're not running amok. They're not screaming. They're not cursing. They're not hitting people and stuff like that. And there's so many times we go to like that or a restaurant, right? And we're all sitting down. We've had people next to us go, your kids are so well behaved, and then pay our bill. Like that's happened to us a couple of times off the strength of our kids being, and they're like, yo, your kids are so well mannered. And I'm like, word? Like they are?
Mhm.
Like you never really, you never really know until I guess you're in public around everyone else, where it's like,
Mhm.
maybe we are doing something good. I don't think I'm doing anything extra. I'm just there. You know what I'm saying?
You're
like,
just attentive. You're
yeah,
That's
just
it's
the
just
there.
key
attentive.
thing,
It's
though.
just,
That what you just said is that's the key thing. You're there. And
yeah.
I think what happens is, at least in this society, the way it is now, like everybody talks about how, the teachers and stuff like that, they're basically like babysitters now and they're raising kids. And that's the way it is for a lot of people or a lot of parents, I guess. It's like, all right, let me ship these kids off to this school and they'll teach them how to be like, respectable citizens and stuff like that. Whereas you're actually there, you know, with your kids, actually discipline them, not letting them run amok and not letting them be dictated or disciplined by the teachers, but it's
Mhm.
more so, okay, the teacher told you to do this, you need to do this. You're actually enforcing what the teacher is doing, or you're enforcing what you
Mhm.
grew up with as far as like, hey, like this is how I need to respond and be respectful and so on and so forth. And I think just
Yeah.
people are lazy nowadays, so they don't like
Yeah.
really
Instead of
put
being
forth that
combative with
effort
the
into
teacher and
raising
stuff
their kids
too.
in that way. Or also they feel like,
Exactly.
oh, the world's so bad, blah blah blah, and they treat people bad, so I'm gonna treat my kids like they're the greatest things in the world, regardless of what they do, because my kids are so much more. Like I don't know, it's I think yeah, something about the way that we're bringing these kids up is where it's different or where it
Exactly.
comes off different. And like you, Don, I mean, sometimes if someone does say something like, "Oh yeah, it's so nice," like the kids say, they behave so well. And I'm like, how do you mean they behave well? They kept on interrupting or talking and so on and so forth. But it's one thing for them to talk and interrupt versus other kids that are screaming and throwing fits and stuff like that. We went to like Harold, we went to Legoland actually that previous week that we were trying to do the Zoom meeting. And at the gift shop, because of course that's like, right when you come in, right when you go out. So everybody and their mom's there when everything's about to close up. And of all the kids, it wasn't like, it was more so a black kid that was inside. He is on the ground inside the actual like, store, like moving, like flailing his arms and everything all over the place, screaming
Attention
and
counselor.
crying like he got beat by somebody, like he got assaulted. So obviously everybody's noticing and paying attention, and no one's saying anything. And I had to bite my tongue so bad because I wanted to say something. This kid is a grandkid. The grandma was there, or she was out and about. She was somewhere like in line, I guess, grabbing something. The kid obviously wanted her to buy something for him, which she initially she wasn't gonna buy for him. Uh, I guess the aunt or some other relative like goes up to the grandma saying, "Hey, he's starting to fit." Da, 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 da. The grandma goes over to the kid and she's like, "No, I'm not getting it. I'm not getting it." Like so now she's getting loud too. So it's a very embarrassing thing from the complexion of the parties that we are. But and it's just like, no, why are you acting a fool? Like, and I wanted the grandma so badly to like, either curse him out, yank him out, like go leave the spot, even spank him, although nowadays you can't really do that in
Wow.
public, but like I just wanted her to do something other than what she did, which was eventually cave in and buy this
Right.
kid
Of
this
course.
thing so like he wouldn't. And I'm just like, no, no. And we were there, my brother was with us at the time. And so he looked at my kids and he's like, if one of you even try to pull some like that, like best believe it's not gonna come out the same way. And like, basically saying, yo, like you will get pulled out and you will get spanked. And I'm like, absolutely, thank you, amen. Like I, I love when if my kids do something and I'm not in their presence and I have somebody else, an adult, tell me like, hey, your kid did this, so I told them this. Like, because nowadays you can't like discipline someone else's kid without getting in trouble, right? So you have to let the parent know. So when another parent or another adult tells me, hey, I did XYZ, I'm like, thank you. Yes. Like if I can't discipline them there, I want you to discipline them. Now, obviously, I'm
That's
not
the way
gonna
it
say
used to
like
be.
I don't want you whooping the shit out of my kid, but that's not what people do. They're just simply saying like, hey, don't do that. Put that up. Sit down. Be quiet. Like, and that's perfectly fine. And I think every adult person, well, I shouldn't say every, but I feel like the majority of adults, specifically parents, should be able or should not feel threatened to be able to say like, hey, no, don't do that. Sit down. You know, just practical things you tell anybody else in public. You know what I mean? So I
But
think
yeah,
it's just
think
the way
about
that
it.
we
Like
like raise kids.
that's the way it used. I'll say two things like that used to be the day back in the day. Like if your aunt, or uncle, a neighbor, they saw you, you get in trouble with them. You get in trouble with your mom. You get in trouble
Yep.
with your dad. Like everybody knew, and it was okay. Like go ahead. Like you see him acting up, go ahead and tap him on the butt or whatever. Go ahead and do this. Go ahead and have a conversation with him because like you were saying earlier, it takes a village, and everybody
Yep.
was a village. Everybody was that person and stuff, and kids knew better. Now it's they want to be their friends. They just want to do this, that, and just like here's a participation trophy. You're okay. You're the best. You're this, that. You're not. And it's like, then I was gonna say, I don't know if y'all saw that video. I saw this little video on YouTube the other day where those like three little kids, like from 7 to 11, maybe, like acting fool in Walgreen or whatever, like threatening to, like they have bags of stuff they stole and stuff,
Hello,
and
zesty
trying to beat down
kids.
the door. Yeah, it was like trying to beat down the door, dress like look in robes and pajamas and stuff at night. I was like, first off, why is three little 8, 9, 10 year olds in the store by themselves in their pajamas trying to steal? And then they went home and like what their mom did was even more ridiculous because like she defended the fact that they were stealing. She's like, okay, it's nobody. They weren't stealing because I didn't have money. They weren't stealing food. They were just stealing toys. It's okay and stuff like. And then they like had them on video and you can tell. Uh, there's no dad in there the picture because just the ignorance of the freaking woman. Like, yeah, my mom's not broke. My mom has more money than all y'all. I was just we could do whatever we want. It's just that in like this cursing up a storm on her freaking Snapchat or IG or whatever, just
Yeah.
ignorance. Like that's what's wrong with this culture and this people. I'm not gonna say what I was telling Harold the other day on here, but it's that mentality of this people, this ignorance,
Entitlement,
and they
lack of accountability, all that. Yeah,
yeah,
it's just the
and to
way
say
things
it's
are
okay,
now.
there's nothing wrong with it, and just I was like, ugh, I can't stand seeing that stuff. And I remember this was years ago. This was back in the day, like when I worked at Six Flags, like 16 years old or whatever. I remember seeing some kids act up and like running and throwing like stuff in the air. And I just yelled, I was like, hey, I ran like, go back and pick up that blah 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 and stuff. And they ran back and picked it up. Even I remember even when I was even younger, I was because it was like my first job. I was at a church camp counselor. It was like 13 years old, I want to say, little summer camp thing. And there was this little bad little boy, like 3 years old, cursing and running and hitting and stuff like that. He people, but he always like looked at me and just never did that with me, and this was nicer and just, but because he knew I would have a conversation. I never had to, you know, hurt him or tap him or anything like that. But just a stern man's voice puts fear into kids sometimes, and make them want to act
Hmm.
right. So I remember one time, like it was like the end of the day, his mom got there,
Mm.
and first thing he did was like ran and kind of like hit something out of her hand and ran back to go play. And I was like, I called him at his name. I was like, hey, I was like, I forgot his name was like Devin or whatever. I was like, hey, come here. I was like, knock that off. Like, I want you to go back, tell her you're sorry, give her a hug, and pick it up. And he went over there, picked her up, gave her a hug, and said, I'm sorry. And she looked at me and she said, how did you do that? I was like, how do you not? Like, that's all I wanted to say. I was like, it's not that
Yeah.
hard. It's just don't take it. It's just like, the situation where you're saying with the grandma caved in. Just don't cave into them. Say, no, you can't do that.
But I
I was
think
telling
part
my
of it,
homegirl.
you guys talking about being present. I think another part too is like a lot of times it's just they're seeking attention. And so then it's like this
Exactly.
game of whether or not you want to give them the attention or not. But I think in many ways, giving them attention helps diffuse a lot of it.
It
Just
does.
being like, oh, okay, what do you need? Or okay, like I'm here. What do you want to share? And like not cutting them off because they're trying to tell a story. Maybe they're stammering through it, or maybe they're fumbling what they really want to say, or maybe they got lost and they just want like to have your undivided attention because maybe you and mom are having a great conversation. You're going back and forth, and you have so many things, and they're like, "Oh, I want to do that. I want to be able to share and talk." And so maybe they just want to get your attention for a minute, and if they don't, then they're just going to act out. And a lot of people that are grown adults do acting out in many ways because they don't get their attention and all that stuff. So it's just, that kid stuff played out at a larger scale.
Mhm.
Um,
It is. No, you're right. I didn't mean to interrupt. No, you're right on that too. And they want that attention, and I see it a lot with certain parents. We all did it. We all parents, so we all have done it. Like, they call your name mom, mom, or dad, dad. Like, him call them like 10 times where you have a conversation. It just takes that second to acknowledge them so they don't have
mhm,
to say it. Like, say your name 10 times and just like, yeah, what's up? And I noticed that when I was with the homies and stuff. And I even said, like, we're having a conversation, but, the kids like, dad, 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 like, say like, 10 times or whatever. And I'm like, hey, what's up, dude? What you need? What you want? What's going on? So just give them that moment to say, and half the time it's nothing, but to them, it's the world. It's like, oh, look, I'm about to do this flip. I'm about to like, oh,
I
I saw this yesterday. Like sometimes, but like I said, to them, that moment will sing it like, oh, okay, they paying attention, they care, I matter. Like, oh, it means the world to them, and it just took you
I
five
get that,
seconds.
I get that, but at the same time, for me, like I approach it differently. I will acknowledge the kid, but I'm not gonna let them control the narrative or control like, my
Yeah,
conversation and things. Because yeah, I'll be talking with the wife or whatever, and yeah, I hear that dad, dad, like, 2 or 3 times, and I get like a tug on the arm, and I will acknowledge them. Like, all right, hold on, me and your mom are having a
yeah,
conversation, and then go back to our conversation because it kind of boils into that. I wasn't gonna, not exactly like where it's like, all right, you're trying to be the friends of your kids or whatever, but like trying to put them on that same level as you. And it's not saying that kids don't deserve respect and things of that nature too, but at least the way that I was raised and the way that I believe that is the way kids and people should be raised is that, all right, there's like a hierarchy of respect or, a time for things to be addressed and whatnot. And so if this is a time where I'm having an adult conversation with your mom, you need to wait until
there's a
we're
pause.
done until I can,
Yeah,
now, yes, I didn't know that you need to discuss something or there's something you need to address. So yes, you got my attention. I've let you know, hey, I will get to you in a moment, but I'm going to continue my conversation. Again,
yeah,
depending on the circumstances, if it's like, oh, hey, like, oh,
something
you
real.
know, little man's about to go pee, he needs to go potty or something. Yeah, okay, I'll stop my, let's take you to the potty, but at the same time with them just, yeah, like Hero said, needing attention and stuff, it's like, it's cool you need attention. I will give your attention, but right now this is not your time for attention, you know. So I
Yeah.
I try to do it things like that.
No, that's the smart way to do it. That's I used to like, hey, these is adult. I used to tell the teenager, I was like, okay, you see adults are having a conversation, right? Like, okay, wait till that conversation is over, and then you can interject or whatever. Or like, this is an adult conversation. Are you an adult? You don't need to be in this. You don't need to you don't need an opinion in this, like, right? It's like the old saying, like, this is A, B, and C. A, B conversation. You can see your way out, old school. But
Yeah.
but yeah, no, I feel you. But it's still acknowledgement is the key thing. It's just like, hey, even if you don't have to be 100% like there, like, oh, to their beck and call, but to acknowledge the fact that they
Yeah.
are there, that's what matters. That's just that simple. It's like, hey, like you said, like, I'll be right with you. Hold on, let's finish this conversation, and then you can say something. Okay, all right, cool, we good. All right, now let's finish our conversation. But
Yeah. I also think it's kind of like not the whole being woke thing, but like the way that society has changed now and how you have heard more things about people who actually did abuse their kids or they treated their kids horribly and things of that nature. And so people one side of the spectrum is like people that are horrible and awful to the kids. And so to counter that, people are like, letting their kids get away with murder, where it's like, oh, like back in the day, in our day and age, obviously like there's spankings or whoopings and stuff like that, some people you spank them on the butt with your hand or slap them on the wrist. Some of us had a belt, some of us in the country they had a switch, like and so there's all these different things that you'd get spanked with. Some people thought some things were acceptable, some thought they were extreme, etc. Nowadays, like, even the thought of like or even mentioning spanking a kid is looked at as abuse, and like with people having the fear of like CPS getting called on them and stuff like that, or a teacher, like raising a stink or whatever because a kid went to school or whatever the case may be, right? And so to avoid possibly having your kids taken away or the fear of you getting in trouble with your kids, it's like, oh, no, 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 I can't do that. Let me just, put them in the corner, or let me put them in timeout, or let me just yell at them and tell them to do whatever until
Mhm.
nothing's working. All right, I just got to cave in. I think so. People, they don't necessarily want to cave in or they don't want their kids to, run amok over them, but they're
Mhm.
in fear of, retaliation if they are to do something to their kids, perhaps. And so that's kind of like that tough,
Mhm.
that tough rope to toe or whatever, to be able to discipline your kids, but also not, harm your kids, I guess.
So the
right,
last thing I'll say on that, and I got a question for you guys in a similar fashion. So when we had our initial meet the teacher, we had a meet the teacher night, and one of the questions they asked, it was like, "Does your kid have a phone?" I was like, "He's going into third grade." Like I thought that was an asinine question, but she's like, "No, several of our
Yeah.
kids have phones, so like we just know that we have a no phone on campus policy, especially for third graders. Da da da. We have options." And I was, oh, okay. But I was just thinking of like in general. I mean, the technology grew as we grew, so it wasn't like it was as available and accessible. I think I didn't have a phone until I was maybe eighth grade or ninth grade, and it was really unnecessary because I had a car, and so if I was out and about, then I might need help with a flat or AAA or something.
Did
But
you just say eighth grade, ninth grade?
something like that, yeah.
How'd you have a car at eighth grade, ninth grade?
No, I'm saying I had a phone
But
in
you
prep.
said you had a phone because you had a car.
Well, you would be no, so they didn't exactly align, but
Okay, anyways, go ahead.
I will say that it made me question like obviously you need a phone for a lot of different things, mostly because it's internet connected, especially with like authenticating this and that, for like work, right? Like I need to authenticate that I'm the person working remotely. But if you didn't have those apps that were necessary, like how long do you think you'd be able to last without a phone? Do you think it'd be like a day, a week? Do you think it could be a month, a year? Do you feel like you could get rid of your phone completely and just exist, where you reach out to people, drive to people, where you just use a computer or something like that instead of having to use a phone? Like how far do you think you could go without it? Or do you feel like you literally might be addicted to it?
No, no, I was gonna ask, like, yeah, are you saying we can't use a phone, like we can't use a computer? But yeah, if I could use a computer, then yeah, like I could, I don't know, like, like give me a time frame, and I'd probably be like, all right, yeah, I could do it. You want me to do a day? Yeah, cool. You want me to do a week? Cool. You want me to do a month? Like, like, well, what's my incentive for me, like taking away this? You know what I
What am
mean?
I incentive? You
Like,
said I
I
gotta
mean,
have
if you're
a
like, hey,
win
I'll
button.
give you for every day that you don't use a phone, Brian, I'll give you $1,000.
But
I
who's gonna
could
do that?
probably
Why come up with that random scenario?
Well, then why are you saying? Well, why would I not have a phone? I guess that's my question.
To answer your hypothetical, for me easily, I cannot go a day without the phone. First and foremost, it's where I listen to music. If I don't have my phone, I can't listen to music. I stream, I research, I download music. I can't do that on a computer. We don't have iPods anymore. So to me, off the rip, even because I don't really go online like that. I mean, yeah, I cruise Instagram here and there, but I don't stay on social media. But I
Well, I
use
mean,
my
yeah, it's
phone.
called the Mildred laptop, so we know that.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. But no, I could not go without my phone. But it's easy. It's easy answer for me. No, I couldn't.
So it depends on what aspect you're asking about the phone. So if I can have it just to like make a phone calls, like if I need to get a hold of somebody, and have that portion, or even quote unquote text, but not use the internet, not use the apps, I can go. I don't even know how long. I can go months, whatever, because I don't really care. I don't really do it now. I do it out of convenience now because it's there. But if I didn't have it, I don't need it, honestly. Like I said, the only thing I use it for, that's why I have a basic phone that costs like $100 something off of Amazon. I don't got like a freaking Galaxy. I don't got a iPhone. I don't got all this other stuff with all the bells and whistles. I barely have any apps that didn't. There's probably like 4 or 5 apps that I downloaded that didn't come on the phone already. Like, and those two of them are freaking like a Safeway app and a Fred Meyer app and stuff like that. For the most part, I don't really care. Like, but like I said, I want to get a hold of my mom. I want to get a hold of my son. I want to holler at you guys or whatever. But I can use a computer and stuff. Like I should even I was looking at my Facebook memories or whatever, and it was like about like I want to say 7 years ago or whatever. It's the first time I bought a smartphone. So before that, I didn't even have all this stuff on there. I didn't even have a smartphone until like 7 or 8 years ago because I didn't really care or need it. So but I'm old school. I just do the necessities and I'm good.
But I think
But I can,
also the when people like say you drive to work or you go wherever, right, and then you forget your phone, right? People always have that like panic level of anxiety, and then they kind of get this like, oh, I guess it was freeing that I didn't feel like constantly tethered to check in to be like, oh, what, it's been 5 minutes and I haven't looked at this, I haven't seen what update, what refresh, what like has been added,
yeah,
and so some people will maintain that level of anxiety of just like, man, I know I'm missing out on
I
a whole
gotta go
lot.
home and get it. And they're like,
And others
I
will
feel
feel
it.
like, oh, like it was nice. Like I felt like a weight lifted because I couldn't do anything about it. I didn't have to, I didn't have to worry, and I'll get to it when I get to it.
Mine isn't so much that like if I lost it, I would be missing out. I feel like, and I mean, call me what it is. I'm one of those people that like a lot of my life, daily, whatever, is tied to the phone, i.e., again, music. Or when I want to go fill up gas, I go to Sam's Club, I use the app. I don't need a card. It's on here. Or if I pay for something, I Apple Pay, boom, right there. Or a lot of my, I guess, everyday and just life in general apps when I'm paying bills, like it's on here. My Capital One, my APS, my this, my that, it's all here. My mortgage, like the mortgage, I have an app, right? You know what I'm saying? Like I use apps to pay stuff. So for me, it's more so like everyday life. If I lose the phone or I don't have it, yeah, I feel away because I'm like, dang, like I can still get by because I still have my actual credit card, right? But yeah, no, I'm a feel away, and I'll be honest, I am that. It's more than a convenience to me. That's just it is what it is. That's the technology today, and I'm immersed in it. So say I could be one of those ones that say they got you. Say what you want, but I utilize a lot of the convenience on the phone for everyday life purchases, for music, for this, for that, whatever the case may be. Your emails on there, boom, off the rip. I can email the teachers. Teachers get a hold of me a lot faster through emails than texting, whatever. It's just everyday life through the phone. That's why I couldn't go a day without it. Low key, I know I couldn't.
And
I
so
feel you.
that's where the convenience comes in, because you did just mention, yeah, you could, like, it's not the end of the world if you forget your phone. Like, if you drive like 30 minutes to get to work or whatever, you get to work, you sit down, and all of a sudden you realize, dang, I ain't got my phone. You're not hopping up and driving all the way back
Oh, no,
home.
no, no, no.
And some people are like that, so it's understandable, and there ain't nothing wrong with it. Like, again, I same situation. I use my phone for a ish load of stuff too, but the same amount of things that I use my phone for, I could, the majority of them, use my computer for. It's just that you don't have your computer mobile with you. So you'd have
Hmm.
to be stationary in one location or whatever. And that's why I posed the question to Harold, saying, like, all right, well, what's my incentive? If it's just like, all right, if you lost your phone, how long could you last without having to go to, like, the store and picking up a new phone? If that were the question, I'd be like, shoot, like, I probably at least 2, 3 days. Within 3 days, I probably have to get a new phone, because it's like, hey, dang, like, there's too much that I am, one, missing out on, and the lack of convenience, having to, like, always be by my computer to log in, to sign into this, or to check my emails, or to pay this, pay that. I get that aspect of it. But if it's more so just, hey, like, like, well, like, uh, how long would you go without a phone? Why? Why do I want to inconvenience myself? If you gave me money, and that's what I posed to you, Don, like, as much as you want your phone to be able to listen to music and so on so much, how much money, like, if I said, Don, I got $100 right now. If you let me have your phone for the rest of the day, I'll give you this $100. Are you gonna take that?
Of course,
No? Oh, you take it for $100.
$100. But I
All
just
right,
told you
see,
my
okay,
pockets
so
is
it's
getting
not
beat
even
up
that
this
bad.
month.
That's not even that bad. I mean, there's some people where it's like, oh, no, 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 no. Like, all right, 200. No, no, no. 1,000. No, like, and that's where the motherfuckers are glued to their phone. I
Yeah.
feel like at one point in my life I was that way, but now it's just kind of like,
Dude,
just,
there was so many times
keep it around.
where like I got
Yeah.
off work and like I forgot the phone in the car and I didn't even notice until I was like trying to go to bed and what have you. And the only reason because of that because I used that as an alarm. So I did that multiple times. And I think I told you guys about when the kids lived here and everything, I used to have that no phone Fridays rule
Yeah.
where every Friday, like, as soon as I walk to the door, give me your phone, give me your tablet, whatever. Give me your laptop, throw it in my room. All right, now we playing board games. Now we're doing this, we're doing that. So I think it's easy for me because like how Don was saying, like he has like all his credit cards and apps and all this, that, and the other on his thing on his phone. So it's just way more convenient and easier for him to do it that way. With me, I don't got any type of credit card on there. I still pay my bills on my laptop. So my rent, I'll go on my tablet, or not my tablet, but my Chromebook. That my insurance, go on there real quick. Go my uh, internet bill, go on there real quick. And I don't really do anything from the phone. Once in a blue moon, I may get something. But I don't have the credit card on there. I have it in my pocket still, so I'll go in there and do it. Like when I bought some ticket. I was at work. I paid something off, and I didn't do it at home because I didn't want to wait till I got home to do it. But for the most part, I do it on my tab or my laptop or whatever. I don't really do a lot on my phone unless I have to.
Mm. So I'll just say
Yeah.
that circle back to what I would do. I'll say that it would be hard, I guess, after a few days. But I think that's because I use a lot of, when people say they only use 10% of their phone, I use like a lot of percent of the phone, and that's why I have an Android phone, is because I can manipulate files and do a lot of transfers and, operate a server and Plex and all that other stuff, plus note taking and calendars and stuff like that. And so, like, a lot of the things, the notes I keep for even this podcast, I use on apps, and I feel like I'm way more organized because I'm not a sticky note person. I'm not a tangible write in a planner type person, but I will type a few notes in a digital app. And I feel like for me, it's more of like I could do just about everything on the computer, but this would be like an extension to walk away from the computer. And instead, whenever I need to check in real quick, whatever. And that's helpful even like when you work from home and you're like, oh, I'm gonna go grab something for lunch, or I'm gonna go, whatever it is, pick the kids up, whatever, and they go to school 30, 40 minutes away. But if someone needs me immediately, then it'll ping me or whatever and say like, oh, by the way, I updated this document, or oh, by the way, like, don't worry about it. We're gonna cancel the meeting. So I don't have to rush back. Like there's little stuff like that that are convenient, like you say, and like allow me to step away and not feel like I'm tethered. But but I wouldn't say I'm like totally reliant on it where I'd be unable to operate without it. So it was just an interesting question I have for you just to see what your guys' thoughts are. Went a couple different places.
Yeah, for
With
sure.
that said, for you
As
guys that
always,
do you use your phones for different things like bills and things of that nature, do you guys have do you have it where like it saves your passwords and stuff like that? Do you guys do that?
Yeah.
See,
As our managers.
it, that's where I'm like, and I mean, yeah, like obviously it's something you're gonna try to keep on your person, and you're probably not, just being casual or cavalier with it, but I mean, the
What do you mean?
minute
Like a
that
lot of
does
it
get
is your
stolen or that
thumbprint.
gets lost, like it's like, you know, I mean, yes, you can lock your phone and all these things, but yeah, I'm very paranoid about like, and then also just for the sake of like being able to remember passwords and stuff like that. Like if it's like something stupid or like me logging into like a gaming app or something like that, like yeah, like I'll go ahead and save the password, but I don't have any of my credit cards on there, like Google Pay, anything that you try to use money wise, you have to plug into like or enter a password on mine. Just because I'm that paranoid. I've lost a couple phones here and there. I've had phones stolen and nothing's ever happened, but it's just like the inconvenience of it. And then, oh, now I got to change all my debit card and credit card and bank accounts. I wouldn't want to do that. So I'm always curious to see like how many people actually do like, it's just easier for me to bypass the password and just, have it automatically log me in and things of that nature, and
You
whether or
know why
not
that
people do
doesn't
that.
bother me these days with like the saving the passwords is because I hear you 100% and you're right. We got to be cautious. But fam, at this day, it doesn't matter where you go. The second you step out your house, you're gonna get scammed some kind of way. So I think the scammers are scamming and they're so strong with it these days. It doesn't matter where if I can have my phone like every single protection and security you can imagine. The second you go use your card somewhere, boom, you're getting scammed. You potentially, you know what I'm saying? Like there's so many opportunities for them to get your information these days. I mean, the second you open a phone and you activate it, someone's got your data somewhere. Someone's got your information somewhere. So I get it, and we should be cautious. And to everyone that is cautious, be cautious. That's one less thing I stress about because I'm like, they're gonna get you some kind of way.
It's funny because
Yeah,
Whether you saved your password or you haven't saved your password. Like,
this is a lot of what I have to think about because I work in cyber now.
yeah, like for you specifically, that's different. So like that's your bag, right? So and because I'm not in that world and I don't know the inner and the out of whatever, like you know more about that. So maybe what I'm saying might be asinine or might be elementary on your level because you're like, nah, there's these VPNs and XYZ that can actually and things that break that down, their security. In my everyday
What I
world,
want to say is passwords could be intercepted.
mhm,
There's a lot of breaches, and you may not know about all the different breaches that you were involved in. And a lot of what happens is people will use, like what Brian was saying, the gaming website, which doesn't matter, or like the I want to adopt a pet. Like they use something small like that to
yeah,
then try your bank account. Like, oh, they probably reuse this password here or there. And so they go for the little man,
mhm,
breach that, and then they use it in the big, Social Security office to take your 401k out. And
yeah,
so
hmm,
that's where it's like you need to have different passwords, or you need to have a password manager or something that alerts you. By the way, did you log in? Here's your code to log in. And if you
yep.
didn't request that, it's like, well, what are people doing here?
yeah.
So there's a lot of different ways to get around it, but I'm just saying that's one of the techniques they use is they go for the thing that's unsuspecting to use it somewhere else.
Yeah, because I think like there was a time when when I was at Wells Fargo, like I was super safe, super, consistent. I would change different passwords every 90 days and all that good stuff. I did everything by the book, and yet I still, at least twice, had my account hacked, and all of a sudden there's charges in New York, charges in California. And like you do everything by the book, do the best you can, and it's like, yo, they still got me somehow. So eventually I'm just like, not saying I'm all willy-nilly and just like my password is 1 2 3 4, but it's like I don't go as hard to do like the extra hard passwords and switch it all this and that. Like I've got my phone with me, they're saved, they're locked. I haven't been, God willing,
Yeah.
hacked since then. I haven't had any identity theft or identity crisis to where I'm losing out thousands of dollars. So I don't know, it's one of those things in life I don't necessarily have to deal with. But again, Harold doing what he does, he sees what I don't see. So as long as my bubble and I we're good, That's kind of where I'm at.
Gotcha. Okay.
Come take my little coins all you want. It's all good.
No, don't invite it.
I know, right? Because hey, they're probably listening right now. They're like, all right, brother, don't tempt me. I will.
Shoot. Well, all right, we can wrap it up. We've been going for a minute.
All right. Yeah. Again, my apologies for being a little on the late side. I appreciate you guys backing it up.